Showcase Sunday, Mailbox Monday, and stacking the shelves for the weekend of February 21st. I did get quite a few books this weekend. We went up north last weekend and it was cold, so we stopped at Barnes & Noble, which, you know, can be dangerous. Everybody in my family got books. I also did get a book for review, so I'll start going through now. The book I got for review this week is The Curious World of Calpurnia Tate by Jacqueline Kelly. This doesn't come out until July, I believe. So I got it off of Edelweiss, and I got it pretty early. The Evolution of Calpurnia Tate, which is the first book by Jacqueline Kelly, was one of my absolute favorite books. It was about a girl, and I think it was set in like the 1940s, 1950s, who was learning about the scientific method, and she wasn't supposed to be interested in that, but she was, and so it was kind of about a girl like making her way in the field of science, but it was a really fun read, and it was very like nostalgic feeling, had a lot of stuff about, you know, that time in the world and war was going on and all this. So anyways, I really love The Evolution of Calpurnia Tate. It's one of my all-time favorite books. So I was super excited when I saw The Curious World of Calpurnia Tate, and I hope that I really like it as much as I like The Evolution of Calpurnia Tate. Alright, so on to books I bought or got as gifts, because for Valentine's Day gifts I got books. But the first one I bought was an audiobook of The Tiger's Quest by Colleen Hook. I don't know how to say her last name. I've just finished reading The Tiger's Curse on audiobook last week, I think. And the review for that went up. Well, I'm actually writing it right now, so it'll go up next week. I really loved that book. I was kind of surprised how much I loved it. There's like a lot of adventure and Indian mythology in it, and I really liked it. So I went ahead and got the second book in that series, The Tiger's Quest. There are like 5 books in that series. I think the 5th one is supposed to release this year, but I had The Tiger's Curse forever, and I don't know why I waited so long to read it. I just did. So I got that one for audiobook. And then we did buy 3 books at Barnes & Noble. The first one my husband actually bought, but you know, he's the one who found it, and I'll end up reading it. 2 is The Sacred Blacksmith by Asao Miura and Kotaro Yamada, and I probably murdered those names, but this is a manga. Looked pretty cool, pretty action-packed. Supposedly it's about a girl who's in the night guard, and she runs into this lone swordsman who ends up being this special type of blacksmith or something. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. It looks kind of fun, so that'll be fun to read. The second book I bought, I just couldn't resist. I read The Iron Trial, the first book in the Magisterium series by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, a long time ago for review, but I did not own a copy of my own, and they just happen to have a signed copy at Barnes & Noble. So this is signed by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. And my son has been asking about this book and wanting to read it, so I was kind of like, you know what? I really liked it, and they have a signed copy here, so I'm going to go ahead and get it. So that's another one that I bought at Barnes & Noble. Then the last one I bought at Barnes & Noble while we were there is Rise of the Arcane Fire. And this is book 2 of The Secret Order by Kristen Bailey. I just read Legacy of the Clockwork Key, which I actually got in 2013 to review, which is really sad that it took me so long to read it. But I finished reading that a couple weeks ago, and I really liked it. It's kind of like a young adult steampunk romance, but they have to like follow these clues, and then they find this crazy steampunk device that they have to figure out how to get into, and then they get a new clue and go find a new one. And I really enjoyed it. So Rise of the Arcane Fire is the second book of that series, and it just came out in paperback. The final book in the trilogy, Shadow of the War Machine, also just came out in February, earlier February. So we'll get through this. If I like that, then I'll move on to the next one. All right. So last 2, I did get 2 books for Valentine's Day. The first one I got from my mom was Miss Marvel, No Normal, by Wilson Alfona. This is like, if there's a most talked about graphic novel or comic of last year, this is probably it. So I did have it on my wish list. And my cats are fighting on the counter. My cats always got to say something during this. Hey, you guys, stop it! They're just glaring at each other. Anyways, I am excited to read this. It got a lot of press and a lot of discussion last year, so it should be a fun read. I don't read a ton of like superhero graphic novels, but this is one I think will be interesting. Then the second book I got for Valentine's Day was from my husband, and this is Girl Genius 13. So this is the only Girl Genius trade paperback that I have not read yet. The last one was a little scattered. Number 12 was kind of all over the place, and to be honest, it was probably my least favorite one in the series. So hopefully the 13th volume will kind of coalesce the story a little bit and maybe be a little bit easier to follow. I mean, there's just so many characters in here at this point that they do a little thing of the story so far, but it's been a little bit crazy. But I didn't like the drawing style initially in these, but it's kind of grown on me, and I really enjoy all the humor and the funny story that there's here. So those are the books I got this week. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was quite a few. You know, whatever. What else to say? That's about it. We were having a really nice mild winter where it was like in the 30s and 40s, and I could go like do stuff outside, which was awesome. And that went away this week. We actually went up north, and the day we went up, the high was like 2 degrees, and then we got a really nice day where it was like 17 degrees, and we went out and did a whole bunch of snowshoeing and stuff. And then the day we were coming back, the high was supposed to be like -2, and then it just was cold. Yesterday morning when I got up, it was like -15, and it felt like -33 degrees outside, which is cold. I don't care who you are, that's cold. Today, though, it's supposed to warm up a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that. We might get into the 20s. I know, that sounds so awful. Like, yay, it's 20. That's all I really have to say. I hope you guys got some great books and that you had a great week of reading, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.